Hi there. In this video, I'm just going to quickly show you how to use the XIBO digital signage system. In particular, we're going to show you how to log into it in the first place. We're going to design a department layout, and then we're going to assign that department layout that you've made to the screen or screens that your department has access to. Now, all of this is done over the web, so you need to open a web browser of choice. I've opened Edge, and you need to type in this link, http://perins-signage/XIBO. This doesn't work at home. This will only work internally at school. Once you're there, you'll get this home screen here where you need to log in with your credentials. I'm going to log in as the Creative Arts Department and log in that way as this example. Once you've logged in successfully, you'll get this home screen here. Right, so now we're logged in. The next thing you want to do is create a layout, and a layout is something where you are saying whereabouts on the screen you want certain things to appear. So if you click layouts in there, you will then be met with this. Now, all departments have their own default background here, which the Perins branding committee have decided on. So here's the creative arts one. If I look at this thumbnail, just by clicking it, you can see it in full screen mode there. That's the background, and we're going to add content to this big area there. So to add content, all I have to do is with this layout, I'm going to go right to the right hand side, click this arrow there, and then do design. Designing allows me to now put stuff on here, but to be able to put stuff on there, you need to add regions. So I'm going to add a region by going up to options and add region. So by default, you get this tiny square here for your region. This region is where whatever I'm about to put on is going to appear. That's way too small for what I want to do. So I'm going to drag this out like that. That will do for the time being. So my content is going to appear in that region. Once you've got it in the right size, must click save position like that. Otherwise, later on, it will not actually put it there. So we've got a blank region. Let's put some stuff in it, and that's easy. Just double click it to get into that. The menu on the left-hand side here is the stuff that you can add to your screen. And then this blank bit on the right-hand side is going to be the order in which they appear. For example, let's put some text on. So I'm going to click text, and then I'm going to put a message in here. So a music one or creative arts department might have all piano lessons today are cancelled. Sorry. I'm going to use the Microsoft Word style of tools to make this central, maybe bold. I'm going to make it into a computing font like that. And I'm also going to make it very, very big. Perhaps bigger than you think it should be. That looks way too big in that preview, but once it's on a screen, it really isn't. So when you're happy with that, you need to go to options. And then here, you can give it a name if you want to, like whatever. But the main box you need to fit in here is how long you want this message to be on the screen for. I'm going to go 20 seconds for the time being. And if this is the only thing that's on the screen, it doesn't matter what you put in there. It will stay on the screen. But for now, I'm going to put in 20 seconds and save. There we go. All right, so now here's the things I could add. And now I have something new here. This box here saying that I've got something new on the screen, and this text box is going to be there for 20 seconds. If I wanted to change the text, or I've noticed a misspelling or something like that, I can go into edit and go back to that screen I was in just now, or I can go delete and get rid of it completely. But for the time being, that's good enough. So you need to scroll all the way down and do save order and then close. Often if you don't click save order, things don't work. So I'm going to click close. There's a mini preview. And if you wanted to see it in its full glory, you could now go to options and preview layout, and it opens a temporary tab at the top there, as in this is what the screen would look like if you were to run it. Sometimes takes a second or two. There you go. That's what that will currently look like. So that will stay on there for 20 seconds, but because there's nothing else, it will stay on there forever. If I now cancel that, what I can do, if I want this to cycle through something, maybe say that, then say another message, I can double click that and go back to where I was. Let's say the next thing I want it to come up with is an image. So I can go into images. I want to add a file. This is very much like you would do on Moodle or any other web service where you have to add a file. So I'm going to click add file, go and find one. So I'm going to put in the 2016 Christmas Carols concert service thing. So open that. Okay, give it a name. I'm going to call it the Carol service. And then how long do you want it to be on the screen? 20 seconds, proved good. Click start and let it upload. That's really fast. And then assign that to the layer. like that. So now it's going to do this one for 20 seconds, and then that will change to this one for 20 seconds. Make sure you scroll back down again and do save order again. Click close. There it goes, and then you've got this back again. You could then go options and preview layout again if necessary, if you wanted to check it, but I can tell you that would have worked. So now you've got your layout, and out of interest, if you wanted to experiment, you can actually add as many regions as you want. So let's say you wanted one title always at the top like that. You could then add another region down there like that, and then have lots of different regions. So you could put something across the side, but that's all up to you to do that. Finally, you can delete a region by, once you hover over it, you see that button in the top corner, you can then do the arrow and delete it that way, and delete like that. So we'll just go back to how it was. If I wanted to change this region again, I can double click it and then go back and see these ones here. So with that in mind, we've now got a layout, but you need to put this on the screens that you've got access to. So to do that, I can go back to the dashboard or just go to displays, but let's go to displays. There's the way. You should only get a list in here of the displays that your department has got access to. And at the moment, the Ibsen one has got the computing Mario Kart tournament layout there. What I need to do is scroll to the right. There's a little hidden arrow there. Change this to be change default layout there. And then all you've got to do is select the layout you've just edited, which is this one. That's the one I've just done. You probably will only have that one anyway, and save. Once you've done that, you probably will be fine just to change the layout without having to assign it. But if you need to, you can come back in here and check. Then you can go back and confirm if you want to with the layouts and things like that. And this screen in displays here should, in theory, update you to say whether or not this has done it. It takes a minute to refresh before any changes are made. And that's it. Just make sure that you log out afterwards and then have a go and enjoy yourself.